long bum bum. I got a girl named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. Got a girl named Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. You know how to love me, yes indeed. Boy, you don't know what you're doing to me. Tutti frutti, oh Rudy. 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 Womp bum a loo bum a lump bum bum. Womp bum a loo bum a lump bum bum. I got a girl named Sue. I said you know just what to do. I got a girl named Sue. She knows just what to do. She rocks to the east, she rocks to the west. She's the gal that I love best. Tutti frutti, oh Rudy. 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 Womp bum a loo bum a lump bam boom.
Yeah.
All right, kids, let's get together and have a ball. Sitting in the classroom, feel your heart going. Start to get the feeling, then your head begin to reeling. You can't hear what the teacher said, because the news is going down about the rock for dance in town. And you know I just gotta hear that band play. Tonight, 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 oh, tonight. Tuesday got the letter, the army thinks I better get myself down there right away. It's not that I'm lazy, I'm just too crazy to go doing things that way. Because the kids will be in town and the jams are going down. I wanna do things a natural way. Tonight, 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 oh, tonight. Yeah, gonna hear 'em say, you're gonna get down in the USA tonight. Okay, kids, it's rockin' time. Every day, gonna hear 'em say, you're gonna get down in the USA tonight. The sun starts going down, I call my girl up on the phone. I said I'll pick you up at 8, and last we'll be alone. I'm hopping my machine, you know I gotta make a scene. Been through the crowd, said the people going wild. When the band's really rocking, then there's no stopping. My girl begins to whirl, the room begins to whirl. It's all of this world, all of
What is happening here? It's week 14 time, baby. Is this Bill Cosby's last game?
Hey now, everybody. I gotta get moving. I gotta muscle
So.
up some action.
Basically, what's this happening right now is we are jumping in to week 14. Now, where the hell has Tad been? Well, this is supposed to be like everybody plays at the same time. Like, I'm only playing games that don't affect games that haven't been played yet. Now, this one does kind of affect a game that hasn't been played yet, but not much. Not much. It's only next 8 seeding. So I decided, let's just go for it. And the information gleaned by knowing what happens in this game is so inconsequential for the first people that haven't played their game yet that it would affect, that it's just not even really worth. It's not even worth it. Tick's on a minus 63 point diff, which means he's not probably, that point diff probably ain't gonna be a factor. So he has no chance of making the playoffs. He didn't have any chance of making the playoffs. No matter what his point diff was, 5 and 8. He's looking, to maybe increase his standing in the next state, which is, you know, there's some things that on the line there. Meanwhile, Washington Redskins, 1970. What a campaign this has been. Started out in the shakiest of pieces. First of all, the draft. This is the worst brewmetric team in CAS. The draft, very much focused on acquiring name brand guys over talent. Got guys like Carl Weathers, who go on to be great actors. Fred Dreyer, that would go on to be the lead in a detective show. Hunter, what was Hunter about? What was Hunter about? He just like, what was his deal? Anyway, I don't remember the show. It was on for a while, though. People liked Hunter. Terry Bradshaw, probably heard of him. Dick Shiner, if you haven't heard of him, you probably know the name. Then you starts to really get weird when you got guys like Bubba Smith of Police Academy fame. Chicago. Wow. Chicago maybe could have used him. Instead, they rode the Bobby Douglas train for a few more years. Yeah, we got Blaine Nye, the science guy. We got, you know, and then you got, basically, we think Kim getting weirder. Then we added Bill Cosby to the mix. Bill Cosby, real player in TAD, 1970. And I gotta say, I think that LUDIO tried to get Cosby a little too involved offensively to start the season. The phase of his season has gone like this. Phase 1. Play Bill Cosby. Struggle. Phase 2. Scrap the Bill Cosby thing. Still struggle, but not be the total disaster, but lose anyway. Phase 3 was, okay, let's at least try to salvage the season. It's kind of embarrassing. We're like 1-7. Let's try to win and then somehow get screwed, have some real tough losses. And then now phase 4, get involved and start rocking some victories. He's won his last 2. He's beat the Falcons and the Vikings, I believe. So 2 of the hotter teams in TAD have been dominated by Washington. Now he's got a little injury issue going into this game. His offense is not quite as juicy as it has been, and it's been not very juicy at all season. Dallas, they're on the road, but they have a good passing game. They have a good running game, an okay running game, a good enough running game to take the heat off the passing game a little bit. And the defense is led by a veteran cornerback, Butch Bird. I'm not really sure what this is. You know, this is just what happens sometimes with these Cowboys and TAD. They just sort of vacillate between middling season with a couple decent wins and tough, and a season where they seem to get a few more good wins and make the playoffs. So this is kind of what happens with these Cowboys. We should know the script by now, but maybe next year for Tick. Seems to be an every other year type thing for him. But we'll see what he's probably playing for pride. He's probably playing for pride here. I don't think he's gonna go into he sees that Washington Redskins logo. He's not gonna take it easy on LUDIO. So he's gonna go in here with bad intentions. This should be a pretty competitive game. LUDIO, I think, is gonna try to keep it rolling, despite the fact that his season has been somewhat poop and pee. I don't know if he's gonna get up the same way for this, but he's at home. And he has a chance to reel off 3 victories in a row to end the season, which would be a hell of an achievement. So I expect, despite this being the lowest stakes game of Week 14 of TAD, I expect a good one. We'll see what happens. Thanks, everybody, for joining me tonight. It's a beautiful night in Seattle. And we're just going to kick off Week 14. We got two games that aren't super meaningful, but, you know, this is... part of that is just not only did he kick an onside, get a stand there strat. I thought this might be a competitive game. The first play of the game was far from it, although hard to really blame the guy who does the stand there strat after the onside kick. It's just unexpected. Here we go. Butch Bird. Oh, fumble. Solid play for Washington. We fumbled it. So there we go. Yeah, this game is kind of off the rails already. Here comes Bo Scott. Looking for some room. Looking for some space. Play pick. Going for Washington. It's right on the money. Bart star delivered. Gene Washington, who's had a nice season. He's kind of kept the Cowboys relevant through some Shakey's Pizza this season. There's a play pick. LUDIO's defense is led by Johnny Robinson, the free safety, who's pretty big time. We got Thule in the mix on a 43-month streak, which is pretty elite. Now we have a little dump off there. Nice play for Tick. Gets a nice little chunk down to the 20-yard line. What about those Dolphins, Thule? We got a big one. That's going to unlock a bunch of streams, too. But, you know, we'll get there when we get there. A couple of games outstanding. Deadline is in 2 days, but I haven't played my game yet. Pete's been out of pocket. Jesus. Big time out of pocket energy from that guy. But we'll get there when we get there. I think the deadline for week 14 is a little bit lax. What happens on Tuesday? Oh, that's when DPS gets rocked. Yes. Still a thing, right? Ooh, Dreyer came in there very hot, and Jim Bakken was able to sneak it past him. That's a field goal. Field goal for Dallas. Sure as shit ain't playing on Tuesday. But alright, here comes Garrett. Nice defense. Alright, so yeah, what about who else is this Dallas defense? Got a couple other big time players. Claude Humphrey, John Zook, Mike Stratton. God, this might be Mike Stratton's last year, if I'm not mistaken. Got a big time career in Tad. Patrolling the middle. Mike Stratton, who delivered the shot heard around the world to help the Bills with their first championship, I believe, versus the Chargers. That's a Shakey's Pizza pass, Shakey's Pizza decision, and a worse outcome. At least it wasn't picked. Bradshaw has been... You know what? I don't know how to describe Bradshaw this year. I feel like more moments. What up, Fan Games? Thanks for checking out the stream again. He's had more moments than you'd expect. You know what I mean? He's kind of like, his stats aren't very good. 38 pass control, but 63 pass speed. And Bill Cosby's not in the game. Okay, nobody's really open on that title. Okay, scramble. Yeah, there's the young Bradshaw had a little bit of wheels. Has been utilized from time to time. I feel like Ludio's kind of found his groove with this team. It's a weird-ass team, but and he beat the Falcons. He beat the Vikings. These are big wins. These are big wins. So we'll see if he gets up for this one. We had a really weird start to this game, but you know, that was just the beginning. And he only let up a field goal. Here comes Butch Bird. What's he got for us? Okay, another scramble. There's a nice tackle in the open field. The Dallas drone coming up big. Let's check the condition in this one. A rivalry game to start. None of the games lack juice. This is the worst. This is the... I kind of think this is the least juicy game. But it's freaking Washington versus Dallas. And it's... I mean, this Washington team has been the people's champ. The people's champion right here, Washington. Second to worst record in TAD. Number one in our hearts. Oh, sneaks. See, that's what Bradshaw can do, though. See, he's done plenty of stuff like that. Sneaks it in there. I mean, Tick's got Butch Bird patrolling the middle there. That's just an aggressive play. Okay, here we go. Oh, Zook goes down, and oh, he's in there. Phillips. Count it. Phillips got banged up for week 14, which was a real tough scene. Because he's been probably the biggest part of why the Redskins have been hot lately. He's kind of been on a bit of a streak, but he got banged up. He's down to 44 MS, a tough one, real tough one. And not to mention, I mean, just another celebrity, the kicker, Jim O'Brien. In real life, he delivered the kick that won the Super Bowl for the Baltimore Colts. So, kick out the jams and bad. This offense is not looking too juicy. Roger Worley isn't good. for the Washington Redskins, which is very helpful towards their cause. Bubba Smith has had his moments in Tad over the years. He's in bad condition today, though. Up the gut. Play call. Washington swarms it. Dick Shiner. Gotta take a look at Dick Shiner. Gotta take a look at Dick Shiner. Oh, watch out, Barstar. Oh my gosh. You don't like to see Barstar dance around the end zone like that. Washington, uh-oh, delivers the jumper. This is what Barstar can do. Now we got some jukes. Worley's able to track him down. Give us to Scott. He's got a little bit of a convoy. The cutback. Okay. Gets a nice little 8-yard chunk there. Cowboys. Now they're going into maybe kill the clock mode here. Thinking about response. Oh, cutback. Oh, he can't get in there, but he does get the first down. He maybe had a little bit of a chance there with the user guy getting blocked, but he couldn't sneak it in. First and goal from the 4. Now we got pressure up the gut. Mike T. for Tillerman is in there. You know, I'll tell you what, I feel like Tick never has good guard, tackle, guard. It's a constant debacle for him. He just kind of rolls with it. Johnny Robs. What's he got? Oh, this guy's sacked. Worley. All right, Washington defense is responding here. Now timeout from LUDIO. Tick I think Tick wants to be aggressive here if he can. Nah, he's gonna kick the field goal. Just keep grinding. It's the first half. All right, Jim Bakken able to nail another one. All right, yeah, take the 3. You can't really sit here and just go panic mode in the first half with you know, this Washington offense has not been very panic-inducing this year. And you get the ball in the second half too, so there's that. But here's this. Mike Garrett looks like he's been shot out of a cannon, but hey, out of bounds. All right, 47 seconds left. He's going to stick with Bradshaw. Dick Shiner is going to stay on the bench. He's going to dump it. Okay, gets rid of it. 41 seconds left. Give us to Phillips. Got to stick with your guy. Phillips could maybe get in field goal range here. Okay. Now we're in the decision mode. We have Jim O'Brien is maybe a Super Bowl hero, but he's pretty weak sauce overall. 31 kick accuracy. Now we got Bradshaw. This is what he's been doing, serving it up to the likes of Chip Myers. Now here's where a lot of Tecmo players make a mistake. They get aggressive. They're thinking 11 seconds, plenty of time for a play call. Take the 3. Now we're just debacle sauce right here. That was an absolute disaster that does not result in any kind of negative outcome. In fact, it was perfect. Bradshaw, incomplete, and Jim O'Brien nails it. LUDIO gets 3. Washington does not look like a 3-10 team. What up, Flo? Crepuscular indeed. Yeah. That was panic, but I think he was thinking he was going to dump it off to the halfback, which is a decent strat on that play, but I don't know. It just wasn't there, or panic mode. I don't really know what happened there, except it was a disaster that did not hurt him in the long run. Okay, third quarter underway. A lot of conditions fluctuating. What does it mean? What does it all mean? Well, it means, see, this is where Tick really struggles. I mean, he's been doing this all year. Is he even going to look at Gary Ballman? He's already got Gary Ballman in the game, so. See, he does not use the condition checker. Don't know if it's by choice or what, but now we have this whole cacophony. I feel like he gets confused. He makes the wrong choice from time. Sometimes ignores guys on accident that are feeling it. Henderson spent a whole half on the bench in sadness. Then he got through into the fourth quarter to save the game for him, or I don't remember exactly what happened, but it's just been rough. It's been a real issue for the Cowboys this year. Defensively, you got Leroy Cappy in good conditions. But we got penetration. Star's down. Bubba cleans up the mess on that one. Star's in bad. Can't get any slower. He's already 6 MS to Star. Bart Starr kind of on his last legs here in 1970. The great stud of the 60s, as Bo Scott was able to turn it and burn it for big yardage. Cowboys down 10-6 here. Not exactly the feistiest looking offense on paper. Just penetration on that play is really taking things, is really making things tough for them. Going to the gun, might as well. Bart Starr dancing around, it makes me nervous, but he does a good job. And is he going to get yet another jumper? Yes. It's raining jumpers here for Dallas. And hard to be too mad at. This is what you do when you got an elite wide receiver. Gene Washington is pretty much top notch. So you got to give him some looks, especially when you got a QB like Starr. You just got to give him some looks. It is what it is. That is just how it goes. All right, let's see if Garrett can get something going here with the kick returner. Okay. Okay. Weaving. Okay. All right. Back to the drawing board for Washington. Okay, Bill Cosby kind of wants in the game here. I don't know if he's going to find Jess Phillips in bad, but Carl Garrett in good. Okay, this is going to be... Ludio's got to figure out what the hell he wants to do here. Now, there is also... it should be noted, Ludio's season is not over. There is a point diff factor that is going to get settled tonight. Both Washington and Oakland, there's no point diff factor, by the way. Ludio's minus 112, so forget that. If he ties, he could maybe get into a point diff factor with beef juice, but that's far-fetched. Anyway, never mind that. Basically, it's between Oakland and Washington for the last spot in the next day tournament. So, we're going to find out what happens with that tonight. Oh! Bradshaw's picked off by Martha, my dear. What just happened? Paul Martha. What a play. Paul Martha just perusing the middle. And Bradshaw gets snatched. Gets it snatched from him. Debacle. I mean, shoot. That was a hell of a job. See, that's the thing. You never expect that to happen. But there is this thing where sometimes the free safety or some DB just kind of comes in there. He's looking to stop the run, and then he's just chilling. And you're like, all right, let's throw the ball. And then dude just picks it. Crazy. It's crazy. Most memorable one of all time, there was a Thunderdome that went down. It was like one of the last, I think it was the Vulcan versus the Shield. And Jay Schrader got picked by Wes Hopkins in similar fashion, and everybody just lost their shit. It just doesn't happen very often. All right, another field goal. This kick is way off the mark. Jim Bakken he ain't gonna make it. That's pushed. So, not able to take advantage of the wild pick. Back on offense is Washington. Let's go to the pitch. This has been the bread and butter for Washington. The pitch to Carl Garrett with the likes of Jim Otto and Ed White making holes. Here comes the first down. Oh yeah, these guys are all over the place. Luckily, I always seem to have my buddy Dan is really good at telling them to get lost. And there we go. So this is what Bradshaw can do, though, and he's been doing it all year long. He's been serving it up. He, especially in the recent games for Washington, it's been a little bit more of a threat. All right, couldn't open file. Well, that fucking sucks. Here we go. All right, Bill Cosby's it. Come on, man. This is it. This is it. I gotta do a little notification. I think it's here. Here we go. All right, last quarter. All right, Paul Martha is in good. Bill Cosby will hold on. Let's see if he's in the game. I wasn't really paying attention. Okay, yep, he's in a tight end. Here we go. Bradshaw. Oh, he gets loose with the blitz. That was what he did. That's that nice little play right there. Okay, Dave Smith, by the way. We haven't seen much from him. He's been a solid guy in the mix on the bench for Washington all year. He's got a pretty deep team, so just really haven't seen too much Dave Smith, but there he is. Here we go. Oh no, Bradshaw, what's he trying to do here? I think he wants to try and fight Bill Cosby. Storybook ending. Oh, he gets the Witcher. It's witching hour. Oh, 8-8 on the taps. Now what do we do? 4th and goal from the 4. Oh my gosh, he tried to give a coin to his Witcher. 4th and 4. Up the gut. Oh no, play big debacle. Oh my gosh. I thought for sure he'd throw it to Bill Cosby to try to have the heroic moment. All right, see if the Washington D can step up here. Get one more chance for the offense. Is feeling it all of a sudden. You know, Garrett and good, Smith and excellent, Cosby and excellent. Is pretty fucking solid. Pretty fucking solid. The Cowboys offense, though, has got a little juice all of a sudden with Washington in good condition. But the running backs are all in bad, so should be pretty easy for Washington to hold it. Watch the safety here. Watch the pass. Watch the run. Watch the flea flicker. Watch everything. Yep, not giving up on the run yet, though. He's in bad condition, but he's able to amble down there. It looked like Worley got caught up in the wash a little bit. All right, Star's got a little time here. You know, he might go deep. Oh, he's forcing his hand. Oh, then Carnage. Carl Weathers with the big shot. That a boy, Carl. Boom. Busted him in the chops. Penetration. Look at this. Put it up for Ballman. Oh, no diver 2. No P2 sauce for the Cowboys there. Bart Starr put it right on the money. Going to the gun. Here it comes. Here comes the blitz. Carl Weathers wants it. Oh! Carl Weathers with the big shot, and it's loose. Carl just punched it loose. And Mike T for Tillman. Representing Cat Stevens. Scoops it. And scores it for Washington. Carl making plays down the stretch. 17-13 Washington. Still plenty of time left for Dallas. Bart Starr, one of the great veterans of TAD. Does he have one more magic moment for Dallas in 1970 before he likely is somebody's backup in 1971? Let's see what he can do. Bart with the jukes. Got 2 yards on the deal. 1:44 to go. That's probably not going to cut the mustard, but probably, you know, whatever. Didn't force it. Washington defense is flying all over the field. Does he want that? He doesn't want the short guy. He wants to let it rip, baby. Give me Gene Washington where we can't get back there. Washington's too fast. Bart Starr, one more. Jumper for the net. Oh my God, it's a diver in the back. Oh, did he get both? Did he get it? Was that a catch? There's no replay. Looked like he just barely got both elbows down inbounds. Bart Starr with the dime of the century for Dallas. Gene Washington absolutely smoked the coverage, which was, I think it was all-pro safety Johnny Robinson, who's in bad condition. Just got smoked like a sausage. Here we go, 39 seconds to go. Bradshaw, got to put in Dick Shiner, don't we? Okay, dumps it off to the Witcher. Gets out of bounds. 30 seconds to go. Cosby's in the game, by the way. There isn't a better moment that could exist than a Cosby. You got to put in Dick Witcher. He's got the okay. Tries to get Chip Myers involved. Don't hate it. I think you got to put in Shiner. Shiner's got a little bit more of a labaroo. 50 pass speed is going to be helpful towards the cause. And by cause, I mean purpose. Okay, he just picks a non-cause. It's going to Chip Myers for reasons that are unclear. Here we go. One more play for this Washington team. It's been a joy. It's just a good pass from Shiner. And it's knocked out easily. Let's get the records in here. Tough scenes for these guys who have at times had some nice moments in TAD. It's just not really happened. GameHigh's had some moments this year. I think that Tell just tried to branch out a little bit. He's got a certain style. I wouldn't say it was a disaster, but the record obviously is bad. So, I mean, let's just put it this way: he's had a little bit better season than the record indicates. But you know, he usually goes for the more grinded out squads. He tried to get some passing involved, and just it just didn't really work out. Basically, they just haven't looked too scary. I feel like the passing just hasn't really materialized. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say don't ever do it again, YUNGTEL, but I would say that there's a pretty good chance after this debacle that he'll be coming back with a very OL heavy stud running back type team in 1971. Meanwhile, GameHigh, you know, the record's not great, and there's been some Shakey's Pizza, but there's been some nice moments. I gotta say, GameHigh, the Chiefs have been kind of exciting. Mike Curtis is like in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year. Let's see here. Let's take a look at some stats. All right, here's your linebacker. Here's your stats for linebackers. So, Dick Butkus, 48 tackles, 9 sacks, 4 interceptions. Mike Curtis, 59 tackles, 12 sacks, no interceptions. Now he's pretty good at intercepting it too. He just hasn't had any in the regular season. So who do you guys like here? Who would you vote for based on just the stats? I mean, it's hard to say. Meanwhile, Mike Curtis has had more magical moments. He's had more crazy moments where it's like, what the hell's going on here? Mike Curtis just fucked up the whole scene. And I think with the lack of a DB really being a huge superstar, you know, these stats are just nothing special. It does kind of seem like it's Mike Curtis versus Dick Butkus. With Mike, I think Mike Curtis has the edge. He's just had more like splash plays, like more like just crazy things that have happened. So one more chance for that to make a resume. And then the other thing is this rushing title is very close. Mercury Morris 1102, Floyd Little 1068, or 1068 would be another way to say it. And yeah, Little needs to make it up. Could be tough. YUNGTEL tends to not let up rushing yards very easily. So, all right, we've heard it from MC5. That was our Artist of the Night from 1970s album Back in the USA. Pretty rocket shit. Here we go. All right, so yeah, and then, you know, I mean, GameHigh is safely in the next state. Maybe move up a little bit. You can't move ahead of Tick. That was in the realm of possibility. But Tick's solidified his shit at 6 and 8. Maybe catch, I don't know. Honestly, it's basically versus him in Detroit for like the 6th seed. Just really not a lot of drama here, especially now that we know that LUDIO won. This is about as okay. There's Mike Curtis. This is what it's been a lot of this. Mike Curtis has made a ton of plays this year, so we'll see. The voters might look at the stats though and think that Butkus has had more impact. What's happened? I thought he was down. Had to get loose. I looked away. I thought it was a wrap. This is gonna be the last game of the night. Everything else is kind of blocked in from a fairness standpoint. Like, you know, we really don't want to show the results of any game that could impact the results, could impact the way people play the other games that have not been played yet. So this is it. Until a couple other games get played, this is it. Maybe we'll be back Tuesday night with more. I think there's a pretty good chance, especially if Thule and DPS get down in a cool time, in a cool time. If they get down to a cool time, if they play their game Monday, that will open up some action. We will definitely get that involved. Also, you know, me and Pete haven't played either. Okay, well, there's that. There's that. How about a little bomb to Floyd Little? Well, all right then. Yeah, I think that GameHigh fucked up his strat. Honestly, I think that he did not realize. Well, he drafted the quarterback sneak, which was tough, real tough. I just don't think he realized that that was what the rules were on that. So, gotta have one run with each running back in TAD, unless you put a reverse in. That's the only way to avoid it. And here comes Atkinson, just shaking loose. Did not see Butch Atkinson shaking loose. Didn't look like he had a lot of room, but here he is. He's still running. The Chiefs cannot catch him. They finally got him at the 22-yard line. That was unexpected. Possible. We're kind of approaching Fire Wagon TAD status here early on here. It's got some Fire Wagon vibes. Oh my gosh. Shoestring tackle there. Garrett kind of found a little hole there. Mike Garrett. Mike Garrett's the one who had the good career, but I think Carl Garrett was also 44 max speed this year. So both Garrett's running backs are about the same. Curtis just plugging up everything. Just a problem. YUNGTEL can't decide. That would have been a good time for a timeout. Down 7-0, you know, just give yourself a little chance to, because if you want to kind of sneak it in here. I don't know if it really would have mattered that much, but just throwing it out there. I try to drop some knowledge on y'all's from time to time. Field goal is up a good. Kurt Knight's had a pretty good year for the Raiders. Feels like. Floyd Little's in good, so this could be a big game for him. Although I wonder if GameHigh even gives an F about that. He threw it to Floyd Little for a touchdown. I just don't know if everybody's really that dialed in to the stats. It's kind of fun. I used to like to play. I used to really enjoy the stats in like WTF. Just you know, how the stats were a big factor in who got the good attributes and not. I think it kind of didn't make the games any better at all. Like people I just like to play to win. I don't really like to play for stats, but it was fun to look at the stats in, you know, on the website and see what's crack-a-lacking. But yeah, we got a pretty nice stats page. It just doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of a cool thing to say, hey, I was the league leader. Okay, we're going back to Little. We're just going to throw it to Little all day, huh? And this ball's overthrown. Little with the 63 MS, streaking down the field. He has pretty good hands for running back. 38 in average, up to 44 now in good condition. Wendell Hayes getting involved, and it's stuffed. It's a tough defense to run on. Willie Wood is really fast. 56 rush power, 44 run speed. All four of his DBs have 44 run speed, which is pretty elite. And now we just have a throw to a covered guy that's just chilling, and it's thrown out of bounds. Debacle. That was just not a very good possession for Kansas City. But Gerald Wilson is here to punt the living piss out of it. One of the better punters in TAD. Not really, haven't been following the punters. We gotta decide our all pros. We gotta maybe spend some time on special teams and offensive line and some of these other positions that don't necessarily get a lot of pub. But we'll be pouring over the details and giving people, another sack from Mike Curtis, giving people all the information that they wish to digest when considering their All-Pro and Pro Bowl selectees. As Mike Curtis he's just going into psycho mode. And, well, this is the thing. It's feast or famine with this blitzing stuff. That was a famine. Famine strat right there. Raiders now going into wind the clock mode here across midfield. Probably not a bad choice. Okay, what about this? Taps. Okay. Look at this. Okay. YUNGTEL hit him with the tap sauce. We're going to switch it up. We're going to put Garrett in at fullback. I think he wants to utilize, those plays are a little bit more effective, perhaps. But look at that. Look at the window dressing strat right there from YUNGTEL. He moves Garrett to the other running plays that he wants to pick more often because those are more effective. And then he gives it to Tucker. That's good. That's a good, nice move there. Okay, look at this. Now all of a sudden this is wide open. He tried to go a home run strat right there. Barry Sanders mode. But now the juice. Garrett has that much more juice. He's able to get through. Lloyd Voss. Big sack. 30 seconds to go. Raiders, this possession has kind of gone to poop after some promise early. 3rd and 16. The pitch. Penetration from the Chiefs. Juki. He wants to try to hit the home run here. Got to settle for the field goal. No. He's got Kurt Knight. Not trying to get him involved. He's going to go bomb strat with Bob Lee. And it's a play pick. Okay, but Bob Lee jukes him. Look at Bob Lee. Look at Bob Lee. Oh, man, after all that, Bob Lee, you got to hook him up. First of all, he didn't need to juke that much. Rensel's got pretty good speed. He did not really need to juke all that. So that was actually maybe a blessing in disguise that he threw it shitty like that, but that is kind of sad how that went down after all that elite juking. So the Chiefs get the ball back, up 7-3 here. Raiders, probably much to the chagrin of YUNGTEL, are going to make the next 8 tournament. So he gets to play again with these guys. Meanwhile, GameHigh really just kind of fighting with Laszlo for what I believe is the 6th spot. I think this is the battle for 6. I think YUNGTEL's locked in at 8. Maybe Laszlo can fall back to him. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Laszlo can fall back. So if YUNGTEL wins and Laszlo loses by some certain type of amount, if the point diff flips a little bit, I think they're pretty close on point diff. So YUNGTEL could still sneak up to the 7th spot. GameHigh, I guess, could fall all the way back to 8, as it turns out, if he gets crushed here. But, listen. This is what we got for Week 14 Avail matchups to show you so far. There is actually a pretty good amount of NSVs that have been collected so far. Gonna probably save the who's in, who's out thing for the last. So the Jets-Bears game, Dan and Bombjack. I just feel like we gotta we should just play that last out of principle. This probably has a huge impact on the season, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to do some math. We still have the Vader Shake Diddy game is also gigantic. So, I don't really know. I might have to try to do some analyzation to see which is more likely to have a bigger impact on things. The thing about the Baltimore game is that Shake Diddy's point diff is poop. So he might... Oh my gosh. This game is kind of off the rails a little bit. It's good. This is good TAD action, though. This is the type of game that's fun. Fun to watch. A little tough for the guys that are playing it. Now we have another sack. Aaron Brown. Defensive battle. Mike Garrett's in good, too. Not seeing a lot of Floyd Little runs. Now what? Yeah. Might as well punt it. Your defense has been nice. Bobby Joe Green, longtime veteran of TAD, the punter. Giving the punters some shine here in this one. This guy is pretty above average amount of punts. Is Floyd Little going to... Oh, no. Bouncing around, but it goes out of bounds. Man, this is a tough one. These guys are thinking like, God damn it. Our season was poop anyway, and now we got this going. Jesus. Brutal. Look at Willie Wood just creating carnage. Yeah, let's see if Floyd Little can get used. He's got 63 max speed, and he could maybe catch Mercury Morris for the rushing title, but doesn't look like YUNGTEL's really feeling it. Now we have a weird pass. It's just weird enough to get the completion. I don't know if Wood would have got there otherwise. Now we have 3rd and 2. Give it to Hayes. Just not a lot of space. Jukes. Okay. Little spinorama. Gets the first. Little spinorama from GameHigh. Sometimes you need a little clutch sauce. Take advantage of the speed, Willie Wood. Sometimes when you're running in, Trying to make a play. He's just going too fast. Hard to stop. All right. Does not put Dennis Hughes in. Fuck Dennis Hughes, I guess. He's an excellent. Must have maybe just had a key drop at some point. By the way, where's the second blocker out here? YUNGTEL just going carnage mode here. This game has a very strange vibe to it. Floyd Little gets a few yards. 4:33 to go. Alright, we're going to the shotgun. Look at Wood. He's just feeling it. How good, man. Oh, boy. Gets beat. Oh, Little. Couldn't come up with it. 4th and 2. He's going for it. He's in his own territory. No more punts for Gerald Wilson. Bill Nelson wants to make a play. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He cycles. Steps up against the pressure. Does he have him? Yes, he does. Charlie Sanders. What a clutch play on 4th and 2. He almost got sacked. Good pocket presence from Game High there. Willie Wood came in hot. I thought for sure he was going to go dump strat there. And the YUNGTEL sniffed it, but he freaking made the play. He adjusted right before he got sacked, and he got it to Sanders just in time for one more touchdown for him. He's had a nice season for the Chiefs. All right, well, Raiders season is down to this, but he does have Mike Garrett and excellent. Okay, Curtis with the dive strat is some wild stuff. Look at this. He gets back in the play, though. Only a 3-yard gain. This is, a lot of times YUNGTEL does go into give up strat in these circumstances. Look at this crap. Look at this wild scenes. Okay. I think at this point, this is the part where YUNGTEL's like, let's just see if I can pull something cool off. I don't know. This is bizarre. Mike Curtis isn't good, and it's just a problem. Just a huge problem. This might solidify the defensive player of the year to Mike Curtis. It's been an absolute monster. Now we have a punt strat. Down 14-3. This is kind of where we're at right now. Point diff is important. This isn't like a terrible choice. Yeah. Curtis has had a couple big games. Especially against Billy Kilmer and the Jets. And then he had another huge game versus Joe Namath and the Eagles in the HP tournament. Had a pretty good game in the regular season too, despite the L. But that might be the rest Yeah, this one worked. Yeah, Tick just probably sent me a bum file. Sometimes Tick's not like super dialed in. Alright, so it looks like. So big deal. That didn't really change much. Tick is 6-8. Ludio's 3-11. So is YUNGTEL, but YUNGTEL makes the next 8 on point diff. Glaslow is, unless he wins by 23, he's locked in as the 7 seed, or he could win and Dr. Frolf could lose. That would thrust him ahead of Dr. Frolf. Yeah, I mean, there's, the next 8 is going to be in some order: Cleveland, Denver, Cincinnati. Hold on. Do I not know how many teams were? Yeah, okay, so let's see. There's 8 teams there. Sinners. So it's 14 teams make TAD. So this is who's in right now. All those guys. Stop. Oh. And the next 7 on the other side. So New Orleans to Pittsburgh. Giants and Jets are both on the outside looking in right now. And I guess I didn't realize. I forgot that 4 teams don't make the next 8 now. So really confused. So that means either Laszlo or Dr. Frolf is out. GameHigh clinched. That was a big game for GameHigh. He clinched his presence in the next 8 tournament. So it's going to be someone. It's going to be either Giants, Jets, or someone that falls out, like Baltimore, Chicago, San Diego, Pittsburgh. I guess technically the Rams could still fall out. Niners are probably good with the point diff. Minnesota's probably good with the point diff. But 2 of those teams are going to be out, and then they're going to be joined by Cleveland, Denver, Cincinnati, Dallas, the Chiefs, and either Boston or Detroit. Ludio, Tell, and I think Tell will be relieved that he doesn't have to play more TAD games. He'll be probably pretty ecstatic for that news. I hope he doesn't watch this stream and hit me up in the morning and be like, hey, what the fuck? I thought I was out. Anyway, so that's what's happening. Basically, we gotta get the Miami Atlanta game in the. If we could get that one, then I'll play my Buffalo Philly game on Tuesday night with Pete. I assume he'll be around, and then we'll see what else is happening around the top. We'll check out the Miami Atlanta game. And probably the Green Bay versus Rams game. Although we haven't got we got to get the Minnesota-Houston one too. So there's 2 games that need to be played to unlock some shit, which they're both scheduled, I think, for tomorrow. So if that happens, then we'll have action on Tuesday night. And if it doesn't, I think we'll just wait longer, as Ace Ventura once said, because it's week 14 and we really don't want to employ the beef. We don't really want to employ the beefy solutions if we don't have to. So we'll see what happens. Especially with beef juice is holding up the shit anyway. It's probably not even in the realm of it. The other thing is that Vader's in Rome, so I don't know when he gets back, but we might have to wait a little while on San Diego, Baltimore. There's no real beefy solution when both guys are shallying. So. Oh yeah, and then Cleveland has to play Detroit, but that can happen whenever. They can stream that, in fact. All right, that's the deal. That's TAD 1970 in a nutshell. Mr. Fan Games. Captain Cannibalism, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I'm thinking Tuesday night. Tuesday night is definitely a factor. If not Tuesday night, soon after that, one of these evenings this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's what I'm saying. Game high. I was trying to give Gerald Wilson some love. He's had a pretty nice season for you. He's one of the better punters than Tad. And then, yeah, Mike Curtis. I think he had a pretty good performance tonight, holding the Raiders to 3. I feel like that might be some DPOY stuff. A lot of silver linings for the Chiefs season. I know that 5-9 doesn't really thrill you too much, but a lot of silver linings. A lot of things you can look back at. Some memorable moments and whatnot. Also, you got to participate in a classic versus the Packers. It wasn't really a classic game so much as being part of a classic stream. Yeah, man, I'm stoked about the Sabres. I gotta get some NHL 95 going this week as well. So we got Tad, we got NHL 95, and then we got tomorrow night we're doing movies. Numbers 100 through 76 tomorrow night. The greatest movies of all time countdown is happening tomorrow night. If you want to watch the movie night movies, it's Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, and Goon. Really going hard in the hockey here. Really stoked about the Sabres, honestly. All right. Peace out for now. Catch you around.
To help them.